According to the prophecy, the alignment of the moons means our victory is assured. The time has come.
The first thing I learned about the Galactic Empire was that nobody laughed in the royal court. The second thing I learned was that accidentally insulting an alien princess was considered a crime in at least 37 star systems. Unfortunately, I learned both lessons on the same day. My name is Ethan Ward, a human diplomat from Earth. Humanity had only joined the galactic community 5 years earlier, and despite our rapid technological progress, we were still considered newcomers among civilizations that had been traveling the stars for thousands of years. That was why I found myself standing inside the Crystal Palace of Aurelian Prime, representing humanity at one of the most important diplomatic gatherings in galactic history. The palace was magnificent. Its massive pillars of living crystal stretched hundreds of meters into the air. Floating lights drifted through the chamber like tiny stars. Representatives from hundreds of worlds filled the grand hall, each more exotic than the last. At the center of it all stood Princess Lyra of the Aurelian Empire. She was impossible to ignore, tall, elegant, and surrounded by an aura of authority. She was the future ruler of one of the most powerful civilizations in the galaxy. Her silver skin reflected the palace lights, and her glowing violet eyes seemed capable of seeing through every lie ever spoken. Every ambassador treated her with absolute respect. Every ambassador except me. Not intentionally, of course. The disaster happened during a formal reception. Princess Lyra was speaking about Aurelian traditions when she mentioned that members of the royal family wore ceremonial crowns grown from living crystal. I looked at the strange structure resting above her head. Without thinking, I smiled. It looks kind of like a decorative bird's nest. Silence. Bull's silence. The entire hall froze. Hundreds of alien eyes turned toward me. A nearby ambassador dropped his drink. Another looked as though he had witnessed a supernova. Even the musicians stopped playing. My stomach sank. I immediately realized something had gone horribly wrong. "What?" I asked nervously. The ambassador beside me whispered in terror. "You just compared the crown of eternal ascension to an animal shelter." "Oh." Princess Lyra stared at me. The expression on her face was impossible to read. I expected guards. I expected imprisonment. I expected humanity's diplomatic career to end before it truly began. Instead, something unexpected happened. The princess laughed. Not a polite laugh, not a fake diplomatic laugh. A real laugh, the kind that makes it difficult to breathe. The entire court looked horrified. Apparently, nobody had heard the princess laugh in years. She wiped a tear from her eye. "A bird's nest?" she said. I nodded cautiously. "Yes?" She laughed even harder. The court had no idea how to react. Neither did I. For reasons I couldn't understand, my accidental insult had become the funniest thing she had ever heard. That should have been the end of it. Instead, it became the beginning. Over the following weeks, Princess Lyra repeatedly requested that I accompany her during diplomatic events. At first, everyone assumed it was political. Then they realized she genuinely enjoyed talking with me. Unlike most ambassadors, I wasn't terrified of her. I didn't spend every conversation praising her wisdom or complimenting her appearance. I treated her like a normal person. Apparently, nobody else did. One evening, while walking through the palace gardens, she revealed something surprising. "Do you know why I enjoy speak with humans?" "No, because humans are honest." I laughed. "We're definitely not famous for that." "You misunderstand," she replied. "Other species fear power. They carefully calculate every sentence before speaking to me. Humans simply say what they think." I immediately remembered the bird's nest incident. "Sometimes that's a problem." "Sometimes," she admitted. "But it is refreshing." As months passed, our friendship became the subject of endless galactic gossip. News networks discussed it daily. Political analysts debated its implications. Conspiracy theories spread across hundreds of worlds. Many powerful leaders disliked the situation, especially the Zorith Dominion. The Dominion had spent decades attempting to strengthen ties with the Aurelian Empire. Now a human diplomat was receiving more attention from the princess than their entire government. Their leaders were furious. Tensions grew steadily. Then everything changed. A year later, Representatives from every major civilization gathered for the Galactic Unity Summit. The summit was supposed to secure peace among dozens of competing powers. Instead, it nearly started a war. During negotiations, evidence suddenly appeared accusing humanity of stealing advanced military technology from several alien civilizations. The accusations were devastating. Every screen in the conference chamber displayed classified documents. Every major government demanded answers. Humanity's reputation collapsed overnight. I knew something was wrong. The documents looked convincing. Too convincing. Someone had manufactured them. The question was who? The answer arrived 3 days later. Princess Lyra personally contacted me. Her expression was deadly serious. I know who framed Earth. My heart raced. Who? The Zorith Dominion. I stared at her. Can you prove it? A dangerous smile appeared on her face. Oh yes. What happened next shocked the galaxy. Instead of quietly sharing her evidence, Princess Lyra invoked an ancient Aurelian law, a law that hadn't been used in nearly 800 years. The law of public truth. Under this law, any government accused of deception could be investigated publicly before the entire galactic community. The proceedings would be broadcast across thousands of worlds. Every citizen would witness the evidence firsthand. The Dominion leadership panicked. They tried to block the investigation. They failed. Billions tuned in to watch. The hearing lasted 14 hours. Princess Lyra personally presented the evidence. Every forged document, every hidden communication, every secret operation. One by one, she dismantled the Dominion's lies. By the end of the broadcast, the truth was undeniable. The Dominion had fabricated everything. They had hoped to destroy humanity's reputation and weaken Aurelian relations with Earth. Instead, they exposed themselves. The political consequences were catastrophic. Trade, alliances collapsed. Military partnerships dissolved. Several member worlds immediately withdrew from the Dominion. Within months, one of the galaxy's most powerful governments was on the verge of collapse. Humanity was cleared of all accusations. Across the stars, public opinion shifted dramatically. People admired Earth's resilience. They admired the princess's courage. Most importantly, they admired the friendship that had made the investigation possible. But the biggest surprise was still coming. Several weeks after the hearing, the Galactic Senate held a ceremony honoring Princess Lyra. Letters from hundreds of civilizations attended. The chamber was packed. When her speech ended, the audience erupted into applause. Then she did something nobody expected. She called me onto the stage. Confused, I joined her. The applause gradually faded. The entire galaxy watched. Princess Lyra turned toward the crowd. For generations, she said, our civilizations have measured worth through power, status, and influence. The chamber became silent. But the events of this year taught me something important. She looked directly at me. Sometimes the most valuable voice is the one that isn't afraid to speak honestly. I suddenly had a terrible feeling about where this was heading. The audience waited. So today, she continued, I announce a new initiative between Earth and the Aurelian Empire. Thousands of reporters leaned forward. The Interstellar Partnership Accord. Gasps echoed throughout the chamber. The agreement would create the closest alliance either civilization had ever formed. Economically, scientifically, militarily, politically. Everything changed in a single moment. Humanity instantly became one of the galaxy's most influential powers. The Senate erupted into celebration. News networks exploded with coverage. History was being written before their eyes. Later that evening, after the ceremony ended, I found myself standing beside Princess Lyra on a balcony overlooking the capital city. Millions of lights stretched across the horizon. Neither of us spoke for several minutes. Finally, I broke the silence. You know, all of this started because I compared your crown to a bird's nest. She laughed softly. Yes, not exactly my finest diplomatic moment. No, she agreed, then she smiled. But it may have been the most important one. Below us, the city sparkled like a sea of stars. Above us, countless worlds waited beyond the darkness. And for the first time in galactic history, humanity wasn't standing alone. Sometimes history changes because of wars. Sometimes it changes because of great discoveries. And sometimes it changes because one nervous human accidentally insults an alien princess and makes her laugh. The galaxy would remember that moment for generations.